Welcome back. It's the Flow Friday Sports Show on Flow FM. It's time to have a look at what's going on in the River Murray Netball Association. Pat Brown is our correspondent in this association. She's on the line with me right now. How are you, Pat?
I'm good, thanks, Dan. And you?
Going well, thank you. Eager to hear about this very tight game between Mannum and the Southern Suns. The Suns went on the road to Mannum and they won a thriller 49-48, easily the match of the round.
Yeah, we picked this one last week. We said it would be the match of the round. One goal difference at the end of play. Mannum would have been disappointed, but they also would have been elated because the first time these two teams met, they went down by 29 goals. So it just proves Mannum at home are a determined team, and with the opportunity to play finals still on the card, and that's what they set out to do. With almost as much height as the Suns, it became a battle of ball dominance. Every ball had to be good, every defensive moment taken, and shooting, if missed, had to be rebounded. It made for a great spectacle and a great game. It was. For if both teams have their way, this game will be the rematch in the semi-finals. And after one goal last week, what's the semi-final going to look like?
All right, very interesting result there. And it's another big game this weekend for Mannum. We'll get to that in a moment, but let's go through these other results. The Imperials beat the Ramblers 62-45. We've spoken about the Ramblers having that tough run home, and they really need to beat some of these higher-ranked teams, but they couldn't get it done over the Imps, who are in very good form.
Imperials hosted Ramblers, and I mean, it's something that's been going on for years and years. There's always been a battle between the two clubs. But it proved to be quite a good hit-out for both teams. The end result of a 17-goal win for the Blues compared to 25 in round 5, one would have to say Ramblers have improved. For to think that Imperials have gone backwards would be almost unheard of. Both teams' goalies, again, shot with high levels of accuracy, with the whole game actually comprising of 107 goals in 60 minutes of play. That's not bad goal scoring. Imperial strengths not just include their shooting accuracy, but a significant number of their other players also carry huge loads of abilities, and combine all those abilities, and Ramblers would have struggled to combat the full court pressure that was applied. Team changes would have helped Ramblers be competitive, but there is no doubt that Imps can play out a whole game of netball.
Imps going along very, very nicely. They're going to be hard to beat by anyone. Just one loss for the season so far.
That's right, yes.
The Mallee Storm going along very nicely as well, and Jervois didn't give them any trouble. It was 67-28, a big win for the Storm in that one, as expected.
Yeah, it was always going to be the hardest game of the round. Storm has height and body strength, which Jervois would have found formidable. Everything Storm do each week from now on is about cementing their spot in the grand final. And there is one thing about Storm I've noticed is they do not play around with their team for the sake of it. Everything Coach Shaylin Pake does, she does for a reason. The goal combinations for the Storm are settling. Everyone is getting used to new player Jacoba Clough, who in round 14 has only actually played 4 games of netball. Jervois, however, never lay down. They will battle out to the very end, regardless of what the scoreline shows. Return of player Laura Baker is giving them the height in goals in combination with Courtney Afford. That is giving the Bloods one of the best goalie combinations seen for some time. But make no mistake about it, this game was controlled by Storm for the full 60 minutes of play.
All right, good win there by the Storm, comfortable win. And Maipalonga 35 over Tailem Bend 25. It was just a 3-goal margin last time they met. Maipalonga have been a bit up and down this season, but they're just banking enough wins to keep themselves in the finals picture, and this was an important one in a low-scoring affair.
Look, Maipo at home against Tailem traditionally is a game that does not flow with the normal speed of most other games. So when these two teams meet, you don't always see a fast, open style of play, but a more congested, pressured game. There's no love lost between them, but it's not in an aggressive way. Just a competitive game full of opportunities, and it's those opportunities that need to be capitalised upon. Tailem themselves are not overly tall, so like some of the others would have found extra height, particularly in goals for Maipo, a challenge. So for them, the challenge was to stop the ball getting to the goal circle, and this is where the congested game comes into it. Maipo, with still an opportunity to play in finals, although they do have some hard games coming out, were determined no matter what that this win is what they needed and nothing less would do.
All right, so that is the round 14 action. The Coorong Cats were on the bye and it's leading into a big round 15. The top three are playing the bottom three, but there is one game that is a little bit more enticing than the others. Mypolonga are on the bye, but let's start off with this game between Manum and the Ramblers, with Mypo on the bye as well. Huge finals ramifications for this game. They're separated by nothing but a percentage, about half a percentage point on the table. Ramblers with a game in hand as well, so everything on the line in this game. Even though there's 4 weeks left in the season, this one almost serves as an elimination final.
Yeah, it definitely does, because the home run for both clubs is very interesting. Like, Ramblers have got, so they play each other, so whoever wins this week is going to get that 2-point advantage. But Ramblers then face the Suns. Following that, they play Mypolonga, and after that, they play the Storm. Now, that's 3 extremely hard games. Manum, on the other hand, have Mypolonga on the first round. Then they have a bye, which could be the big thing that tax them. But they do have Jervois for the last, so they have a slightly easier chance at points than what Ramblers do. So really, almost between them, whoever takes out the game tomorrow, because Mypo's run home is no better. They've got Manum next week, and then they have Ramblers, and that's going to be a battle because they'll still be fighting. And then they play Imps last. So almost this game tomorrow could pretty well decide who's going to finish fourth, with maybe percentage kicking in here and there. So this is almost going to be like a final, this game tomorrow at Manum. So it's a game I'm certainly going to go and watch because it's going to be very interesting, especially after Manum only going down to the Suns by 1.
All right, and another big 3 games to come. Not as big as that one, but nevertheless, the top 3 teams need to do what we expect of them. Southern Suns hosting Jervois, the Imperials travelling to play the Coorong Cats, and the Mallee Storm heading to Tailem Bend to take on the Eagles. You would think it would be wins for the top 3 in those 3 contests.
Yeah, look, it's sad to say to the 3 other teams, but, I mean, the Suns are just going to be too tall and too strong for Jervois. For the Cats to try and get over Imperials would almost have some players not wanting to travel that distance. And for Storm over Tailem Bend, they're just going to be too tall and too bodily strong. The 3 other clubs, they'll have a go, but there's no way I can see any one of those 3 sides, the Suns, Storm or Imperials, losing. But let's face it, Dan, there is in history times when a bottom team can just have a game that knocks off a top team.
Oh, yes.
I can't see it happening, but it has happened in the past.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened, so we will watch on with bated breath, but it's certainly going to be that game between the Roos and the Roosters that takes centre stage.
Yes, definitely.
Enjoy that one tomorrow, Pat. Looking forward to getting a big recap of it next Friday. Good luck to everyone else playing this weekend as well. And Pat, like I said, we'll chat to you next Friday.
No worries. Thanks, Dan. See ya.